My granddaughter was the most loving child I've ever met. She loved anybody regardless what you looked like, who you were.
The family of Audrii Cunningham in Austin today speaking in front of state lawmakers pushing for the passage of House Bill 2000, known as Audrii's Law. Audrii Cunningham was murdered last February in Livingston by a man her family was helping to get back on his feet. Audrii's killer, Steven McDougal, evaded registering as a sex offender from a previous crime because of a plea deal. Audrii's family is looking to close that loophole. Our Gage Golding joining us now from the newsroom as the family wraps up testimony. Gage.
Yeah, Zach, Audrii's grandmother and grandfather both speaking in front of state lawmakers today, both holding back tears and emotionally pleading with Austin to close the loophole. Audrii, just 11 years old, was killed by Steven McDougal. Her family checked the sex offender registry before letting McDougal live in a camper behind their home. McDougal claiming he wanted to get his life back on track. Instead, he killed Audrii last February. Her story going around the nation. Today was the first step in changing the law that let her killer go undocumented. The family wasn't the only ones emotional. State Representative Trent Ashby, who sponsored the bill, holding back tears too.
In February of last year, an 11-year-old girl named Audrii Cunningham was kidnapped and murdered in Polk County. After her body was recovered from the Trinity River, the details that came to light as a result of the investigation were so gut-wrenching that it made national news, and it prompted an outcry from a really tight-knit community in Deep East Texas as well as across our state.
We close this loophole, and we make sure that my granddaughter's death is not in vain. This bill, I beg of it to be passed.
You can hear the pain in their voice. Ashby represents the area that Audrii lives in and was killed in. Audrii's grandfather saying their family is now dedicating their lives to protect children, not only here in Texas, but around the country. This loophole doesn't just exist here in the Lone Star State, but other states have something very similar. Zach?
Yeah, Gage, we know this is a process, right? The public hearing is over. Do we know if and when a vote will happen, and how soon could the bill be on the governor's desk?
That's a really tricky question. There's a bit of a process. Right now, it's sitting in a law enforcement committee. The bill needs to be approved there, then sent across to the Senate for approval before eventually landing on the governor's desk. It is a process. Sometimes it can be a long one, but it's one that lawmakers in this committee and victim advocates say they want to see happen very quickly.
I get asked all the time, well, what do you think? Is this bill going to, pass? I usually say I'm cautiously optimistic, but frankly, this should be about as a slam dunk as you can get. So let's get this bill out of committee, get it to the floor, get it out of Senate, get it to the governor's desk in memory of Audrii Cunningham. I, like most people here, am sick and tired of naming bills after dead kids.
Incredibly strong words from Andy Kahn with Crime Stoppers of Houston there. He was a huge player in getting this bill started and where it is today. The bill was tabled today until all members of the committee are present to vote on it. That's the next step, Zach.
Very powerful testimony from Andy Kahn. Gage Golding reporting live in the newsroom.